Welcome back to yet another edition of Wild Bills Podcast. I believe this is episode number 33, the first one of the year of our Lord 2025. Peyton, how you feeling? How you doing? How's the new year treating you?
The new year's been fantastic, man. I'm happy to see my brother, my friend Wild Bill, with the things that are happening out in LA. Happy to be able to do this with you. No day is given to us, so we got to make sure that we take every day and really for the max.
That's right, dude. It's been a pretty distressing week and a half, I'd say, or maybe just a little over a week. Things kind of escalated very quickly out here. Obviously, the Palisades fire. I work out in Santa Monica at a restaurant usually, so that area that I frequent is going to be changed for a very long time. I have not been over there since it started. I got caught up doing a film job, which is another thing that I do on the side. So I was kind of engulfed in that for a little while. I didn't really grasp the gravity of it until the day we were shooting at a location nearby. All the fires, there was a bunch of ash falling down on the set, and that's kind of tough to ignore. So it's not just that fire. There's been several other fires, and there's been speculation as to what's causing them, whether it's somebody going out and doing it or just natural causes. There was super heavy winds when it spread also, close to like 100-mile-an-hour gusts. I was wearing shorts while we were setting up for that film set, and there was little bits of dirt knocking up against my legs that like legitimately
That's
like
crazy.
didn't hurt, but it was like, damn, you know?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's insane that. So
Mhm.
there's a potential thought that someone's really going out there and doing this.
They arrested somebody for the West Hills one. It's a little further west than the big one that's going on. Somebody had a blowtorch and a bunch of people kind of ganged up on him, made a citizen's arrest.
Why would you do that? Like you're an
I
idiot. You're literally
I don't know.
killing like not only people, but then now animals, their homes because of this.
Animals,
Like,
property,
yeah,
air
like this
quality
is
also. Like
yeah, which is
still
already
not
bad
like
enough. Yeah.
it's not good to go out there without a mask on right now.
Hmm.
So it's
Happy to see you're safe, man. Happy to see you're safe.
yeah, I'm glad we're safe. I'm glad me, all my family, my friends, Fran and her family and friends. Fran had some family, or rather friends, out in the Altadena area, which is another big fire that were pretty severely affected. So it's, you know, this is real life stuff. So
Yeah.
hoping
Prayers up to you
hoping
guys.
things kind of cease. Some of the fires are still kind of smoldering. Hopefully that subsides as soon as possible because
Yeah.
it's not good.
Prayers up to you guys. But I mean, I think that's the great thing that we love so much that we talk about in this podcast and we watch so closely with football and just sports in general, being able to ease our frustrations from our day-to-day lives. So just happy and praying for you guys, but happy that we have something to distract us for even just a little bit. Um, Texas was weird weather. It's crazy. People were trying to say like God's mad at us for reasons and reasons. Like, no, we're heating our earth up, or people are doing
Yeah.
stupid stuff like to what you said. Um, but yeah, it snowed in Texas. We had they whenever it snows now, they call it Dalaska.
Alaska?
It yeah, there,
That's
bro. We had
ridiculous.
literally this much of snow, bro. Like not even anything to like make a fuss about. But I will say though, the issue is the ice. So
Mm.
there's no ice trucks here in Texas, and so when that it gets that like 30-degree time in temperature, and it rains or it snows, and then it wets, and then it freezes. That's the issue because when ice is, it's hard for the city to run after that. Tons of accidents, people's pipes freezing over
Yeah.
because people don't know how to do a drip method with their sinks and stuff. So it's just like it's a whole mess.
Mm.
But yeah, nothing comparatively to what you guys are going through out there. Just people not knowing how to handle the snow.
Right. And
And
I know you
now,
do.
and yeah, come on, 20 something years in Chicago. But the malcontent, as well as from Texas, with the grid that we have, not wanting to, because from most states they have grids that share from other states. Texas is one of the only states that wants to be the Lone Star state and have their own self-sufficient everything. And because of that, that's when we see an issue with our grid potentially going down. in terms of like heating and cooling and stuff like that. So in the summertime, hot middle of summer, we always deal with it. In the middle of the winter, we always deal with it. So, but moving
2025
on
is
to
crazy so far, man.
so far, yeah, man. But moving on to more fun stuff to talk about.
Oh yeah.
Week 18.
Week
Phil,
18.
take me through how you felt with the Bears getting to match up with Green Bay. That was in Lambeau, correct?
That was in Green Bay. That was up in
Yeah.
Wisconsin. That's
Tell me how
right.
you feel about that.
In enemy territory, going up to the frozen tundra of Green Bay, Wisconsin. You know, I was alone for this watching experience. Fran was going to go take care of her parents for a little while, going to go hang out with them. So she, left and said, "Oh, I wish you the best, but don't get your hopes up," she said.
She's a real
And
one.
I got my hopes up. It was a roller coaster of emotions. The real significant stuff started when DJ Moore fumbled that screen to give the Packers a chance
Hmm.
to take the lead, and they did. But once again, what are you going to do when you give Caleb Williams too much time?
Magic.
Hey, man, say what you want about the season. He brought us down to a place where we could kick a field goal, converted on that long third down, got down and spiked the ball. That's what you want to see out of a football team. That's a real team. That's a real team in
Yeah.
Chicago. Real teams
That's
beat teams they're supposed to beat.
a fact.
Hey,
That's a fact.
the year of
You
our Lord
honestly
2025, the Chicago Bears are undefeated. Raise your
that
hand. Raise your hand if your team ended the season with a win. With a win.
oh wait, no, we didn't. Oh
Oh,
wait.
that's to be seen.
No, no,
Hopefully,
no, we did. No, we did. No, we did. No, we did. We beat the Giants. Started the week 18.
or
Week 18 beating
even
the
better
Giants.
yet, raise your hand if your team did not end the season losing three in a row. We did it. There goes
I
the
will
streak.
I will say that you guys have a good note to end on. The video of Caleb answering, thinking it was Ben Johnson, was comedy.
Oh yeah, dude, that was
Uh,
awesome.
yeah, I think the Bears have a lot to build on, especially with the excitement around who you guys potentially could get. Now, the ownership group just needs to make the right decision on head coaches. I hate that you guys kept Ryan Pace. I think that he is an idiot. Um, I think that it gets kind of dangerous, I believe personally, when the GM is in the hiring decision with the ownership to what coach they should get. I think it should be the other way around, personally. I think the coach and his scheme and what he wants to run should be then hiring the GM. I know it's a little bit different than was that Moneyball, where Brad
Yeah,
Pitt's character like
the
was
the
basically
GM
running
Billy
the
Bean,
team. Yeah, Billy
R.I.P.
Bean, yeah, RIP, was basically running the team, and then from there kind of told the coach what to do. I think that's usually not the way in which to run it. Obviously, they had success doing it that way because they were ahead of the curve in terms of statistics and just using numbers to play the game. But in this turn, in this situation with the Bears, I think that Pace needs to take a back seat to whoever they
Mhm.
hire.
Yeah, yeah. Ryan Poles' track record is just not great, and the Bears as an organization is just they're so stubborn and kept in their old ways, saying we only want to do it this certain way, and they're not willing to be flexible or to like be open to new advice from other more successful people. And it's frustrating that we're being held hostage. And I'm hoping that we kind of look into a good coach, like we kind of did with Lovie Smith.
Hmm.
But I don't know. It doesn't. I don't think it's a good look that they're bringing in just about anybody with a pulse for an interview. They already did it. They already did Ben Johnson's interview. They did Aaron Glenn's interview, which are the
Yeah,
two, big bells of the ball coming out of Detroit.
yeah.
Mike Vrabel obviously went to New
The
England,
Pats.
so
Yep.
he's off the table. Um, I don't want to see Mike McCarthy come through Chicago. That
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I think Mike was. I think so. I was talking to Victoria, my fiance, who is for the fans at home. Uh, she is a Saints fan. She's from New Orleans. Family's from New Orleans. But I was essentially telling her like because of how bad right now the Saints are and the organizational issues, Mike McCarthy will help turn an organization around because he's been around football for so long. He knows how to run an org, full org. I wouldn't think as good as Ben Johnson is on like between the white lines, I don't think the organizational competence is there at this level because he's never had to do it. That's why I think a Mike McCarthy would actually do really, really well in a Jacksonville for the Jaguars since they got rid of Dougie P.
Mhm.
It do good for the Saints, like teams that are right now that are or the Raiders, like teams that just have organizational issues right now. He would do well for. Jerry just couldn't get out of his own way, and so
Yeah.
that's why Mike couldn't have the success I feel like with the Cowboys. I was happy to see it. I mean, and I will continue to say until Jerry croaks, like they're going to continue to be bad. No one's going to want that job unless you get someone that's like a who did they have in the '90s? I'm forgetting his name.
Jimmy
White guy,
Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson. Yes,
Yeah.
that just is so out there and has a ton of personality. It's like, no, Jerry, I'm doing this but Jerry won't hire someone since then like that. He had Jason Garrett and then Mike McCarthy, two at least outwardly to the public, very passive guys.
Yeah,
Um,
puppets.
yeah, exactly. Puppets. They're what is it called from Pinocchio?
The real boy
They
Geppetto.
the Geppetto. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know your film knowledge is A1 when it comes to anybody.
No,
The
especially with
obscure.
my Disney Plus membership.
Hey. Oh, RIP. I'm forgetting buddy's name. I retweeted it. It was one of the animators from the '90s. That's why I was watching Tarzan last
That's
night.
right. That guy. That's name
Yeah.
slipping my mind also, but one of my favorite movies growing up.
I want to say
So
it's Toth or something, last name Toth or something like that. RIP to him.
I'll have to run
Um,
it back with Tarzan after this, probably.
there you go.
Mm.
So then what are your thoughts in terms of what you would like to see from Caleb on this offseason?
I'd love to see about 3 or 4 solid workout videos. Want to see him, enjoy his time, go out to Paris, get the fashion stuff and
Yeah.
do his own thing. I want him to be comfortable in his own skin.
Yeah.
He is already super embraced being a Chicago Bear. He bought a house. He's he seems to have it going on. Just be comfortable in your own skin and grow in however you see fit. I know that he's super dedicated to the team. I know he's dedicated to the game. That's not something that I've ever doubted. He's always
Hmm.
gone out there and fought. He's tough, dude. He stuck it out there to the end of the game every single time. He was taking those hits. You don't take those hits if you don't love the game. So that's something that I've never doubted. So just keep growing. As soon as you find out who the head coach is going to be, connect, kind of get the rapport down, figure
Hmm.
out the playbook and the system. See what audibles you can get into, kind of pick each other's brains, and obviously that's stuff that us as fans are never going to be able to see. So that's
Yep.
just what I'm hoping for
Absolutely.
on a technical football side. But Caleb's doing great, I think, at least. And just
Dude,
taking more advice from, other
let's
proven players, taking the checkdowns when they're there. There's been, you could say it about every quarterback, but he's missed some of the checkdowns that were available that might have produced more positive plays. But, it's his rookie season, and I'm pretty overall happy with his touchdown to interception ratio, the numbers that he put up in spite of all the turmoil in Chicago. So I'm overall not upset about his rookie season, and I'm looking forward to hopefully having the Chicago Bears have a 4,000-yard passer for the first time ever next season.
honestly, man, I think that you guys should be very proud of the season. Like the only reason why it didn't look to good or could potentially to the outside world, people that aren't Chicago fans, try to say that, oh, he had a failure of a year. He didn't. Like I'm looking at stats right now. 62.5% completion rate. He had 3,500 yards, so 500 yards off of the mark of the first 4K passer in Bears history.
Mhm.
20 touchdowns to 6 interceptions, an 87.8 rating for the year, his rookie year. Do you know what? Give me quarterbacks that you can rival that to that had abysmal that are in the Hall of Fame.
A
Steve
handful.
Young,
Yeah.
Peyton Manning. Like, there's tons of quarterbacks that did not have good rookie years, let alone the guys that usually will sit their rookie year. Pat Mahomes sat his rookie year. Tom Brady sat his rookie year. Like, there's tons of great quarterbacks that did not even get the opportunity to put these type of stats with. And as much as people will try to say, like, oh, they surrounded Caleb with talent, they surrounded Caleb with talent, they surrounded Caleb with one aging receiver. Rome Odunze actually ended up being your guys' receiver one. I don't know what's going on with DJ Moore and his in between his ears. He looks like he just sometimes doesn't care.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with that, but I think that DJ Moore is a fantastic receiver. He's amazing and can turn a game up on its side of its head.
Mhm.
But Rome Odunze at times looked like the number one. He again is a rookie, so it's like, what are we really talking about? He did beyond what that offensive line was allowing him to do. I think Caleb has a bright future. I'm excited to see it, and I'm still never going to root against any black quarterback. So
Mhm.
that is my final words for the Bears 2024 season.
2024 sucked. 2025 has been lit so far. So ready to go for the next game in September or whenever it is. I'll probably try to go see them in Vegas when they're out here. That's my
Ooh,
final
that'd be
note.
fun.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
playing the
that'd be fun.
Raiders. So,
Okay.
all right.
Um,
So, do you have anything else that you want to touch on from Week 18? Any incentives or I don't really.
Um, no, shout out to Tanner McKee. He held it down.
Mhm.
We beat the Giants. Week 18 rested a bunch of our starters on both sides. Tanner McKee went out there as a third string quarterback and lit it up. The Giants had nothing to play for. They're going for a pick. I actually would have we watched it with Blaze, but I would have been so funny if somehow we lost that game to then screw the Giants even further. That would have been funny, but no, nothing really to speak on. Happy we won it from like morale standpoint for the backups because at some point a backup is going to need to make a play. I mean, case in point, N'Kobe Dean gets hurt, tears his some part of his knee. I'm forgetting what it was. But now we're looking at having Jeremiah Trotter Jr., the son of the Axeman, the original
Mhm.
Axeman in Philly. His son, we drafted him out of Clemson, and he could be potentially starting. Vic Fangio came out today in a presser about 2 hours ago and spoke about Jeremiah having a bright future, and that future could potentially be starting this week. So I'm extremely excited for that. But not to skip over the Packers game, let's dive into that. Um,
Mhm.
man, uh, I don't want people to misconstrue what I'm about to say. So Jalen threw for what, 126, maybe 127 yards, two
Around there.
touchdowns, 37 yards rushing. Um, he played an efficient game. He played the game that he continues to say, I'm here to win. I don't care about anything else. The defense is playing lights out. We ran a similar offense that we were running week one to beat Green Bay. So Green Bay had already film on us to prepare for. So they were ready for a lot of our concepts. The guys weren't getting open. And you know, that's okay. Shout out to Green Bay for doing their job. Like that, they're also a pro team that made the playoffs. They did their job. They locked up a lot of the concepts that we wanted to run. And then, so therefore, Jalen struggled in the passing game. Jalen was on time. He was in rhythm. He looks great coming off of the 3 weeks that he didn't play. Dan Orlovsky had touched on that on NFL Live as well as on his Twitter account. So if you haven't heard it, he said it in more better way that I can, as well as more in depth. But I just, I mean, I think I have to just keep beating the drum for him because people just find any and every reason to disrespect him. Um, he wins. So we're on to the next week. It doesn't matter to me what people say. I just like pushing it in your face when we continue to win.
Mhm.
Um, the game was set from the freaking beginning, man.
That's right.
Came down, I think his name's Traylon Burks, backup linebacker, came down and punished their return man.
Hmm.
Punished him right up under the chin. If you've never played football, getting hit by like I don't want to say the crown of the helmet because that's illegal, but it was like where the top of the face mask bar is,
Yeah.
right there, you're liable to maybe even knock out, like actually physically get knocked out.
Mhm.
Um, so I'm not surprised that the return man dropped the ball. What a way, and it kind of was indicative to what then you saw the rest of the day. We were putting hat to chest and just eliminating two linemen, two receivers, like just really punishing their team.
Hmm.
Uh, that's the type of Philadelphia January football that I'm trying to see. Hard hat mentality, laying it to them, and you know what, just winning games. So I can't be sad. We're on to the next.
That's
What were
right.
your thoughts from the game?
My thoughts were obviously I was hate watching more than anything. Wanted nothing more than the downfall of Green Bay, which is thankfully what I got. This on a scale of like being happy about things, I know that Green Bay wasn't the best team. The Eagles did what they had to do.
Hmm.
Um, it was very gratifying to see Jordan Love go out there and lay an egg. Um, him being the highest paid player in the NFL,
Three picks.
that is just
Chef's
beautiful.
kiss.
Beautiful.
Chef's
Because
kiss.
like, dude, if he were on like a mid-level contract, it would maybe look like, it kind of makes sense. But for him to be the highest paid player, I wish that contract was 10 years instead of 4 years. That's incredible to me that he was able to finagle that out of Green Bay, notoriously like a place that you can't really get
Hmm.
paid at. Um, so shout out his agent. 3 picks. He's just throwing off his back foot, going for the deep shots all the time,
Hmm.
which worked for Brett Favre because the league had never really seen it before. Not to his arm strength, and he's throwing way too many picks to be like Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
So I'm happy to see it. Josh Jacobs is obviously a good player. I don't ever look forward to playing against him. He had that
Yeah,
angry
he's good.
run, as did Dallas Goddard.
Yeah.
Um,
Couple of angry runs in that game. Yeah.
there were some angry
Both
runs.
sides.
It was a physical game, as you saw
Yeah.
with all the injuries. Jaden Reed took a hard hit. The Packers lineman also took a hard hit, kind of like right on the clavicle, it felt like, or right in the shoulder,
Hmm.
is where
That was Nolan Smith. We'll give him a little stinger
hmm
when he was pulling.
hmm So I'd love to see a little bit more of a cleaner game for the Eagles in the next round because who do they play? I have the schedule pulled up. They play the Commanders.
No, so the Detroit has the Commanders. We have the Rams that just won. So
That's
Matty
right.
Stafford's coming to Philly.
That's right. And we'll talk about the Rams. The Rams are playing like a team possessed, and I know the Eagles' defense is going to come up to the occasion. They'll rise to it, and the Rams' defense is playing a little better than I anticipated. But we'll
Yeah.
touch on the Rams in a little bit.
Hmm.
So
Yep.
overall, a win for the Eagles. I know you're happy. I'm happy for you.
Go
I'll cheer for
Birds.
my friends.
Yep.
And
Thank you,
like I
sir.
like I
Thanks, sir.
texted you before, go Birds.
Yeah, you really did. Bill did send me a text to hype me up. It always feels good to, you know, people like to say that we're mean fans. I saw the guy go out there and say some disrespectful words to a Packers fan that was a girl and her boyfriend or husband. I don't know what their status is, but yeah, we don't accept that. That was too far. I think he
Mm,
believed he called her the C word. It's not necessary uh, to be doing personal attacks. You can attack the game. You don't need to attack the person. It's
yeah,
never that
not cool.
serious. Yeah, not cool at all.
Oh,
But no, we're really brotherly love, man. Any fans that want to come on over and start cheering for the birds, come on with it. I ain't mad
hmm
at it.
Final question. Did you pick up a copy of Inner Excellence?
I looked at it on Amazon. I think it might be sold out already now. But it AJ Brown, man, what can you say? He's a philosopher.
That's
He's
right.
a thinker. He's a modern day thinker. Modern day one of these.
hmm
Um,
A classical man, a gentleman, a
yeah.
distinguished gentleman.
What can you say? Who would have thought? Who would have thunk? AJ Brown, the 6'3", 230, runs a 4.5 40 receiver, a thinker, modern day thinker.
hmm I could see him having like a little corner seat in his apartment with a
Hmm.
cigar, have a little record going on.
Ooh, jazz in the background.
Maybe a little Jack Daniels in a
Ooh,
rocks glass on the
uh-huh.
rocks, pulling
Just
up with a
reading.
yeah. Definitely not describing myself, but I could see AJ
Definitely not
Brown doing that.
describing myself. You see no books behind me. Yeah, so shout out to AJ for that. I thought it was hilarious. I saw the clip, but then actual Eagles fans start coming out later and be like, no, AJ has been doing this. He carries it with him out of the tunnel. So people have pictures from when they're in the tunnel from multiple games of him carrying the book out there. I thought Jalen's words were funny. He was like, Jalen's like, I've seen him with the book. I've never seen the man read. So it was kind of like the LeBron thing where like LeBron always has a book with him but isn't reading. But no, I actually do think AJ reads. He is a very different type of cat,
Mhm.
and you only get like that if you've put the time in normally. Uh,
Right.
I mean, unless you're reading something. So Joe Rogan and Aaron Rodgers are reading cuckoo stuff, but
Insane.
not self help books, but they're reading stuff, just not
Mhm.
the right stuff. So
Cool.
moving on to the other playoff slate games.
Yeah.
Um, the Chargers versus Texans. I'll let you start this one off, Willie.
Yes.
Um,
So the LA Chargers did not receive the bump of playing for the city of LA on account of they are a San Diego's team and they play down closer to, or they practice closer to Orange County. Unfortunate end to Jim Harbaugh's return to the NFL.
yep.
That defense didn't hold up, unfortunately. I don't know if they didn't take the Texans seriously. That's really the only excuse I can think of because, to
hmm
my knowledge, they were like a top three defense, and it didn't
Yep.
really show. Because
And the Texans that are injured too.
they
There's a
were injured.
lot.
They didn't have Tank Dell.
Stephon Diggs, Tank Dell, like Stephon tore his ACL, I think week one. Like we're out without him. You're out without Tank. Like that's a depleted offense. I think I was talking to some friends. Like shout out to the Texans for like really changing their offense around, getting Robert Woods in there, getting some other pieces. Dalton, I think his name Dalton Schultz, like
Mhm.
really playing well at the tight end position to really give CJ a chance. Just lay the egg, I guess. The Harbaugh defense is not normally doing that.
No, not at all. And I don't think Nico Collins had that great of a game either.
Yeah, I don't think I think he had I think he scored one touchdown, but like he didn't have that many yards or anything, wasn't really getting featured in that game. I mean, they did a good job, I guess, of shutting him down, knowing that he's like the main target for
Yeah,
CJ at this point. But you can't then just let up everything else just because you're
yeah.
shutting one guy down. You can't sell the mortgage on the house just because you're thinking over here. So,
Tip of the hat to Joe Mixon. He
yep.
had a big day. And the Texas defense also stepped up. They were the defense that we thought they were at the beginning of the year.
How
They
are you
got.
feeling about all these blowouts that we've had in the first round of the playoffs?
Well, let's see. Pretty
Really wasn't,
unfortunate.
yeah,
I would like to have seen something more competitive. Because let's see, this is the like three out of the six that I'm looking at, or was it six games?
yeah,
Three out of the six were definitely blowouts. No, four. I've missed the Bills. I mean, I think it's just like a separation. The cream rises to the top, and the cream is destroying the rest of everything else. Because the Texans were the only real surprise, as were, well, the Rams also. You didn't expect a big blowout. I don't know, man.
yeah.
It's
You
just,
had the
yeah, I guess we're just separating the boys from the men.
It really is. And what I guess what's the reason why I'm asking that is because they changed, and it was slight, and I don't think a lot of people even noticed, but in 2020, they changed the format of the league. They went from having the one and the two seed getting the bye
Mhm.
to the two playing the seven. So it gets an extra team in there for the playoffs. But in doing so, the only time we've seen, so I think it was 9 games have been played so far, or maybe more. I can't I forget what the stat was, but only one team has lost in the wild card. That was the two seed to the seven since 2020, and that was the Cowboys
That's right.
versus the Packers last year.
They let me down.
When the Packers went in there and blew them out. I know you're upset about that, but I loved it. Also,
I
you
love
should
it.
be happy because it then made Jordan get that contract. That now, there you go.
Exactly.
Uh, so it's kind of like a win-win for both of us. But yeah, that's the only time you've seen it. And so it's like it's not easy in an 18-week season to play that many games, go through everything you can to even just get let alone the one seed, but the two seed is also hard to get. And I guess I'm a little biased this year just because we did get the two seed and don't get that first round bye. But it seems like it's kind of a waste of a product because they were all just like doo-doo games. Like people falling asleep, not caring, like didn't really care to tune in. Like it just was a waste of time because Buffalo was the two seed, I believe, and
Yes.
had to play Denver and look like 31-7. It was a competitive game in the first half, I will say that. Like it was good.
Mm.
But then the Bills went and got their halftime adjustments and blew them out. So it's
Yeah.
just like, what are we doing here?
Yeah,
Um,
it's stuff we can kind of just blow over because we know these teams are better than the ones that they played. I mean, like you
you know.
said, the Bills absolutely blew out the Broncos in the second half. I will say, Bo Nix looks pretty legit
Oh
as a
yeah,
rookie. He was looking great.
absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited to see his future, especially with Sean Payton. The things that he can dial up. Um, I think they're maybe one or two pieces away, a dynamic back in Sean Payton's offenses, whether that be Darren Sproles back in the day, or obviously Reggie Bush. Uh, he needs a dynamic back. Not to say that the guy that they have in there now isn't good. They just need something a little bit more.
Mm.
That third down type of receiving back. that will change the game for him.
Yeah,
But Bo Nix got a cannon, man.
he does, dude. And he's got like what, 10 years of college football under his belt too?
He's really like 48 in the game if you think
Yeah,
about
it looks like it.
it.
Um,
um,
I didn't
what
have
do
much
you
else about Bills Broncos.
skip over it?
Steelers Ravens. I mean, what can you say? Lamar's the truth. He's incredible. And he throws, he runs, he doesn't throw picks. You can't tackle him. You can't see him. What can you do? The Steelers were a sitting duck. They never had
Yep.
a chance.
Yep.
And this might be a discussion for like a different day because I mean it's a big topic. But like, what do the Steelers do with the quarterback position and with the coach? Because it's 8 years since they've won a playoff game.
Dude, I saw someone say about Doug Peterson get hired, won a Super Bowl, got fired, got rehired, won a playoff game, got fired again, all before Mike Tomlin won a playoff game. That's the Eagles and then the Jaguars tenure, all before Mike Tomlin won another playoff game. Just like I don't like to root against black quarterbacks, I'm not going to like talk bad about black coaches. And Mike Tomlin, I think he's a Hall of Fame, first ballot Hall of Fame coach whenever he
Mhm.
decides to hang it up. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely something there to be said that, and that I think is just coaching in general, that sometimes a change of voice in the locker room can do dividends. So it's not that Mike can't coach anymore. It just might be for that locker room at this point, his voice might have grown stale.
Yeah,
It's like one of those times where your mama's telling you, clean your room, clean your room, clean your room. Your dad doesn't really say much. And then that one time he comes in and goes, boom, clean your room. You get and do it.
yeah,
Go and do it. So, um, or even vice versa. Dad tells you always to do something, do something, do something. You don't do it. And then your mom finally comes in and snaps. You're going to listen.
Mm,
Um, so yeah, it could be a change of voice that's needed in that locker room, unfortunately.
yeah,
Because I hate to see it. But hey, even if we wanted to fire Nick Sirianni, even though he's at the highest winning percentage, I'd take my Tomlin today.
yeah. I
I think
wouldn't
he's
mind him on the
amazing.
Bears.
Yeah, I think he's amazing. I think actually to back up a little bit, to speak about Mike McCarthy, is it not crazy that Jerry last week did not allow the Bears to interview because they requested to interview Mike McCarthy?
They did.
Jerry
It's
declined it and then fired him yesterday.
Yeah, it's petty. It's petty for him not to want to like give his guy an advantage to like maybe put his name out there.
The market, even the
Yeah,
Patriots, give him the chance of like he interviewed like that is insane to me that that happened to him. If you're going to let him go, you're going to let him go.
yeah.
He
It
held him
speaks to his
hostage.
loyalty, yeah, or
Yeah,
lack thereof, I should say.
literally. I totally forgot to mention that. I was speaking about coaching. Just crazy to think about.
Hmm.
But would the commies once again? I think they have five last play winning drives, or like literally the game was decided on the last play, like in a
Yeah,
row.
yeah. I mean, you can't stop what you can't stop.
Jaden Daniels for real.
If they got somebody looking down and helping them out, that I mean, you can't hate on that.
No. And the thing is, dude, I said Jaden Daniels was going to be good coming into the season. Again, Victoria being from Louisiana, big LSU fans down there, and um, he just has been elite for years now,
Hmm.
and I think he kind of went under the radar at LSU, but and it's actually kind of crazy to me because Brian Thomas, the receiver for the Jaguars, and then you got Malik Neighbors, and then you have Jaden Daniels. Both those receivers went for over 1,000, and you have Jaden Daniels that's going to be rookie of the year. How did they not win more games down there in Baton Rouge? But
Hmm.
hell of a game for them to beat the Bucks. I think that Baker and the Bucks, not just Baker, but the team threw that game away for their winning.
Yeah.
I think that, and the Eagles also fell to this. The Commanders are a team that are moxie. If you let them stay around, they're going to make you pay at the end of the game.
Hmm.
You have to put your foot on their neck and just say you're not in this game. It has to be at least with 8 minutes left to go in the game. It has to be a two possession game,
Yeah.
maybe even three possessions, meaning like 17 points. Otherwise, they're going to feel inspired that they can come back. That's just the type of ball that they're playing right now.
Yeah, I thought the game was over when the Bucks decided to kick the field goal and tie the game with 3 minutes left or 4 minutes, whatever it was.
Yeah,
Because they had that goof of a third down play where the snap was off, and I think that was like an opportunity to show like we're for real trying to win this game, and they kind of laid off to the side and conceded, saying like, "Oh, we hope you don't hit this field goal, but we haven't been able to stop your offense." And sure enough, that's what they did, and they had that walk off win. Always sucks to see a doink go in.
literally a doink. Um, I will say that I agree with you. I think that he will be rookie of the year. I still think the debate between Caleb, Jaden, and people are saying Drake May. The case on him is still open, but I think if Jaden stays healthy and can stay healthy, because I don't want him to run into the RG3 issue with being a running mobile quarterback, um, that he ends up getting injured. I think it could be a duel for some years to come, man, between the one and the two pick between Caleb and Jaden.
I think so
I mean,
too. I'm hoping that's the you know the storyline that we continue to revisit and say like, oh, this 2024 draft was incredible. Look at the two Hall of Fame quarterbacks that came out of it. Um, so we're running out of time here. We can revisit this debate for another time. Last game, Rams Vikings. What are you gonna do when the Rams are playing inspired? The Vikings kind of showed their true colors. Sam Darnold was never really gonna be a franchise quarterback, and I kind of feel for him because he lost out on however much money he could have potentially made. Um,
I still think he's gonna make some. I do think
yeah,
he's still gonna make some. I think that he has played. I mean, you don't just go 14-3 and then not think you deserve something. I think he's just gonna have to be the right fit. I would hate to see if he ends up becoming a backup somewhere.
mm,
I think he's played himself into at least getting a starting role, kind of similar to Baker down in Jacksonville, or not Jacksonville, excuse me, the Buccaneers.
mm.
But we'll see. Um, but as always, I think that Matt Stafford is going to play great football next week against us. Um, but we just have to have more than he can throw.
Yep,
That's all it comes down to. Um, Lovely seeing you, Bill. It's been a great pod as always.
you as well.
Happy to feel and be back. 2025 is our year.
That's right. That's where
Any
we hit it
last,
off.
yeah, any last words for the people at home?
Um, Stay safe. That's really it. That's really all that's been on my mind. Glad that we're happy and healthy, and our families are as well. Wishing that for all of 2025. Again, thank you for everybody that tunes in, all the supporters. Um, Take care of you and yours.
Amen. Love y'all.
All right, love you guys. See ya. It's over.